promise of quality education for minorities, that will cost some money.
Dr. Hefner, you know, and I think that most educators would agree exactly with what you've said. And at the same time, we have a difficult problem trying to convince members of the state legislature that this is a very, very important and a very, very serious consideration. Now, how do we go about at least convincing people who do have an opportunity to make decisions dealing with the state budget? How do we go about convincing them of the importance of not being number 50 in terms of all of the 50 states? I mean, what are some of your views in reference to that?
Well, you get into emotional issues when you talk about taxes, and obviously I don't want to get into all of those issues. I'm very interested in financing higher education, however one can do it. And I think that one has to think about the cost of not doing it. I'm looking at the prisons that we have to build, and the people who, as some of my students say, rip us off every day because of certain problems that we have in our economy. I would prefer to educate those young people than to have them out there doing things that are not right. Our prisons, the unfortunate thing is that we have more black men in prison than we have in college. That we should not allow. And I would like to turn that around where we can make those individuals such that they become taxpayers and they don't use tax dollars in our prisons for things like doing disruptive things. So I would suggest that we look at the social costs of not funding higher education.
Very good. And as a matter of fact, I think that any of us who have visited Tennessee State University over the last couple of months have noticed a tremendous capital change that's going on at the university in terms of its buildings, facilities, and et cetera. And people might know about that, but why don't you give us an overview of exactly what is going on at Tennessee State University and its building program, because it seems that Tennessee State University is about the only university that's involved in massive capital construction at this time in recession. How did that happen, and what are you trying to achieve in the end?
I think that because of the outstanding contributions of Dr. Otis Floyd when he was president of Tennessee State, and now he's the chancellor of the system, working with the governor and the legislature, we were able to do something about transforming that campus into what I call an oasis of beauty. I usually refer to a butterfly that comes out of a caterpillar. In other words, here you have that caterpillar, and it changes into a butterfly. And that is the metamorphosis that's going on that campus right now. For example, and I smile when I talk about this because people need to see what that campus looks like just right now. By 1994, and we were given, the state allocated $112 million, by 1994, we're going to see one of the most beautiful campuses in these United States. 8 to 10 new buildings. We're talking about a pedestrian-friendly campus. We're talking about enormous landscape improvements. We're talking about trees and flowers and lamps and parking lots and plazas and courtyards. The new campus center that we will have up by August for our students will be a sight to behold. Our students will come on that campus in August, and they'll look up at a facility that goes almost 1 block long, 3 stories in height. Inside, you'll find a 15,000 square foot bookstore. You find an enormous dining facility for students. You find very fine facilities for faculty and staff. You'll find bowling alleys. You'll find coffee shops. You find a lot other things like an executive suites um, for the people in student affairs. You find a 350 seated auditorium. You find an intramural gymnasium. Um, it will be so attractive that it will be the centerpiece of that campus. That will bring out a number of students. The master plan calls for doubling the enrollment by 1994. We have roughly 7,500 students. So by 1994, if the master plan is really accurate, we're talking about 15,000 students. Outside of this magnificent structure that I just talked about, the new campus center, on the right side will be a 70-foot tower with, oh, what would you call it? It will have a light at the top that you can see from downtown Nashville. On the left side, there's a jet plane symbolizing our Air Force ROTC program. There's a bridge on the second and third floors. And if you're on the second floor, you can look down and see people eating, and it's just like being in a mall, because that's what it is. So we feel that that new campus center will put us on the map in terms of facility for students, because we are there really for students. They are our raison d'etre. And if we are not there for students, we ought not to be there in the first place. So that campus center will be a manifestation of how we feel about our students at TSU.
Very good. And of course, not only